Hey everyone, welcome to the Breaking Point YouTube channel. If you're liking the videos, hit that subscribe button. Now let's get to the hunting action. If any of you have hunted long enough, you know there's times where you wish you had a chance at that buck that got away. This week we're diving into our archives and we're going to show you some of those hunts over the years of bucks that we've had opportunities on and messed up and wish we just had that second chance on. Our first hunt we got on the list here is back from season 8 of the Breaking Point. This is a buck I was hunting in Iowa we called Fire Tines. Kind of a interesting history with this deer. Brendan has had pictures of this deer for several years. I believe it was, probably 7 or 8 years of trail camera photos he had of this deer. We were hunting this piece of public and he had not had a ton of pictures of this deer this season, but he knew he was still alive. This happened to be the first morning we were in there hunting, first time I had my tag for the year. It was late October, we just got a snow. The deer were moving that morning, and lo and behold, this deer just comes out of the woodwork and gives us an opportunity.
We had a good start here so far this morning. Seen 3 does and 2 fawns just probably in the first hour. No bucks yet, but with that many deer coming up through here already, I'm thinking it's just gonna be a matter of time before bucks follow suit. Kind of licking my wounds right now on the golden opportunity I had this morning, but I think after seeing what these deer are doing, how they're using this, we're going to kind of reposition. We're going to move this set about 30 yards closer to the ditch here.
As you can see, we had a clean miss here and the deer got away. We never had an opportunity at him again that season. And I believe it was a couple years later, another hunter actually harvested him. And we believe that the buck was probably around 12 to 13 years old at the time that he got killed. So it was definitely a heartbreaking moment for myself, but a learning experience. I was using a new release that season. It was a hinge release. I was trying to do some work at just curing some of my target panic issues I was having at the time. And unfortunately, my first opportunity at a deer was a good one. So it was a learning experiment for me, and it's definitely something that going down the road, I will definitely be keeping in mind to try and prevent from the future. Our next hunt we got on the list here is from Ross Weeks. He's hunting in Iowa, public land. I was actually in the tree on this hunt. It was middle November, cool morning, the deer were on their feet moving. We're hunting, overlooking a CRP opening, and we had field right next to us that we had the decoy out in. It was kind of a slow morning. We seen a couple bucks right away off the bat, and we were kind of just sitting there twiddling our thumbs, and all of a sudden, as the rut goes, anything can change in the blink of an eye, and this buck come in on a string.
It's November 18th. We're out here this morning, sitting in the same spot I sat the other morning with JP. We saw a couple nice bucks. Nothing real close, but from the spot you can see a really long ways. And actually last night, I wasn't able to hunt, so I came down here and glassed this bottom, and I found a really nice buck. Watched him get up from his bed and walk right past this stand, so we're hoping he does that same thing this morning after he comes back to bed, kind of the same way that he left his bed. And we can just see so far, so anything that we lay eyes on we can try and call too, so should be a really fun morning. You good? Oh my God. This is a year from hell. This is a year from hell. I can't believe that, man. That deer's absolutely huge. I know. This is gonna be. I'll never forget this season. Holy crap. Holy crap. It just hurts so bad. Putting in so much time for these deer. Just scouting this summer. Figuring out these deer. Came out last night. That's the buck I saw last night. We set up on him. Worked absolutely perfect. He's probably 15 yards. And my limb ended up hitting this branch. It's 2 Iowa giants that I've missed now this year.
Our next hunt we got here is back in Iowa. It's with Brennan Nading. And I think this was our season 3 of the Breaking Point. Brennan was hunting this deer. He called Jumanji. He had pictures of him pretty much from the beginning of season. And he was working this draw like clockwork through October. He had a good cold front. He decided to slip in that day. And lo and behold, this deer showed up, and he's big.
Well, it's Halloween afternoon. Hasty and I were in this same stand this morning. Didn't have much for activity. Seen one younger buck cruise through here about 8 o'clock. It rained all last night. Quit this morning. I'm thinking these deer were back in bed here before daylight this morning, getting out of the crappy weather. But we pulled this card out of this camera on the scrape below us before we snuck out of here and checked it when we got back, and 2 really good bucks, one of them that we were expecting to be on there, and then a new buck that we're going to name 15. We counted at least 15 scoreable points on him. Not a big frame deer, but he's an awesome buck. But Jumanji's been through here like 5 out of the last 7 days, a couple times in daylight. It's really been cruising through, so conditions are right. I think with the lack of movement this morning, they should move good tonight. circled around and started quartering away. And I shot for about 37, 38. And just underneath him, I ranged the spot. He was 46. I'm absolutely sick. That deer's flirting with 180 inches. Would have been the biggest deer in my life by far.
What's going on, everybody? Hope you're enjoying this week's content on the show. If you haven't already, check out our YouTube membership called the TBP Club. It allows you early access to all of our YouTube videos. It allows you access to our members only live Q&As, which is once a quarter. And it allows full access to our Rut Live grand prize giveaway. If you haven't already, check out the TBP Club.
On this hunt, we're in Kansas with Aaron Skripchak. We're hunting our lease that we had down there that year. And they were hunting a spot in the morning after a big deer that they figured was probably in the 170s. And the buck that showed up actually wasn't the deer that they had on camera. It was a totally different deer. And he come in perfect to him. But unfortunately, it was a dead calm morning. And when he went to draw, this deer picked him out.
It's November the 16th this morning. Brandon and I are in a brand new spot. We came in and hung this set 2 days ago. Scouted, I don't know, 3 or 4 days ago. Had a cell cam rocking in here. We got a jumbo in here after. It was daylight 2 mornings ago at like 9:40. He was right at the end of shooting light last night following a doe. There's a couple other good solid bucks in here, mature deer. We're pretty much in between just thick, nasty bedding. Just a big open area here. We're trying to catch them cruising back and forth through here, bumping does around. It just cracked daylight probably 25 minutes ago. One of the bucks that just showed up, I think last night we got first pictures of him. Big 8. He's got to be 4 or 5 years old, mature deer. He come in, caught us off guard. He was at 12 yards maybe when we seen him. And he just was real cautious working through here. We got overhanging limbs underneath me here. And he started walking out in front of me at like 10 yards.
I drew. There was a pocket I could shoot him in. So I drew and he walked towards that pocket. I drew and he stopped as soon as I drew and he was right before that pocket. Nothing I could do. He just spun around, ran back up the hill probably 25, 30 yards and stood there. He has no idea what's going on, but it just sucks. He's a step away from having a schwacker through him. Plenty of day left.
Our next hunt here is from season 11 of the Breaking Point. Brennan Naden's hunting in Iowa. He's in one of his favorite spots he calls the Gateway. This spot is a really good rut hunting spot. It's got a good funnel. They're hunting out of the cage blind here. These deer just like to cruise these fence lines and CRP edges, checking bedding areas. Him and Aaron were hunting this spot that evening, and one of the bucks he had on camera come right into bow range, and you'll see what happens here.
We sat in the timber on a different farm this morning. Had a really good hunt. Action kind of petered out after a few hours. Almost shot at a nice buck. But we're on a different farm tonight. I've had pictures of 3 different mature bucks on this piece in the last 12 hours. There's not a whole lot of cover around here, and I'm pretty certain that they're hanging out here in this patch of timber just to the south of us. We're sitting over an alfalfa field, scrape tree out in front of us, and the decoy. The sun just crested over the hill. Got about 35 minutes left. We've seen 2 fawns. We had 2 fawns come out down in the corner of this alfalfa. And they fed the field for a good half hour, 40 minutes. Feels good. Temperature's starting to drop off a little bit. Got a really good chance one of these bucks shows himself here. Good. No, he's still running. He just went over the hill. It's probably been about 20 minutes, maybe longer since the shot. We kind of just collected ourselves, played the footage back, and slowly backed our stuff up. And rule of thumb for me is if I don't see a deer go down, minimum of 6 hours. So we're gonna head back and watch the footage on a bigger screen and kind of make a decision. Well, it's the following morning. We shot that buck last night, about 10 after 5, 5:15, something like that. The shot was a touch low. We watched the deer, like you guys seen, run about 100 yards, and he kind of stopped right before we lost sight of him. He stopped there for probably 5 to 10 seconds, kind of walked off. I feel like if I would have got the heart, we would have seen him go down, or he would have ran to his death. I'm kind of feeling like I got possibly lung, liver, kind of right down there where that liver runs along the lungs. We've seen a lot of blood coming out of him, but we just decided to play it safe and give him overnight. It was plenty cold last night. We just got back to the blind here, and we're gonna go see if we can get on the trail. this deer is gone about, I'm gonna say roughly 150 yards from the shot where we last seen him in the field. He went like another 30 to 40 yards and he got down to this fence line. And he didn't want to cross. He started working down along the edge of this fence. We kind of tracked him through this grass. We thought he was gonna lay in this ditch, but he ended up getting to the property line here. We still got good blood crossing the fence, so we're gonna set the bow down and get on the other side of the fence and just stay on blood. Hopefully he's not much further.
It's 9 o'clock. It has been 28 hours since I shot the deer. We pretty much spent the entire day today, except for a couple hours midday, looking for this deer. I've reached out to a couple people tonight, getting in touch with a couple dog handlers, trying to see what their availability is tomorrow. I've kind of talked through the shot with both of them. Both of them feel pretty optimistic that it's a dead deer. We just have to find it. So just trying to coordinate a time for tomorrow where we can meet up with one of them. Hopefully get on this deer. I feel like we've given it everything we've got to recover them.
Unfortunately, Brennan and Aaron spent a lot of time trying to locate this deer, tracking him, getting a dog, and they spent, I believe, about a day and a half looking for this deer with no luck. Thankfully, Brennan got pictures of this deer a couple weeks later, so they knew he was alive and well, and actually had pictures of him last season also. Our final hunt here we got is from North Dakota. North Dakota is a special place for us that we go to every year. Brennan's up to bat. He's hunting a very familiar spot for us that we hunt every year. We call the Slip. We hunted this spot for several years and we were lucky to kill a couple bucks out of it. But there was one particular buck that just kept evading us whenever we go in there and hunt. And as stars aligned that night, he decided to come in for Brendan and Aaron. They were hunting later in September for this deer. And as you can see, this buck also slipped out of our fingers.
We are back in North Dakota. Slipped into a spot that we call the Slip. There's a real good buck in here. Dylan had a close call with him opening weekend. Actually had him in bow range, just a little bit too dark to shoot. He's been showing up on the cameras quite a bit. Pulled a card this morning. He's been in here 4 out of the last 6 nights. Right at last light, maybe just a touch after, but we got some cool weather that moved in. We got high winds right now. It was really shitty yesterday. It was raining and really windy. The rain cleared out. It's still breezy right now, but the wind's supposed to lay down here the last hour and the sun's supposed to come out, which it's out right now. We got about 2.5 hours till dark. Hopefully this deer screws up. We'd love to drive an arrow through him tonight. I see like 4 or 5 deer over there. He's got plenty of light.
As you can see, we had a mishap last night. The buck we were after came in right at last light. Kind of took his sweet time coming in, and I missed him. Shot right over the top of his back. I'm gonna go back in there. That deer's been all over that camera for the past couple weeks. Hoping he slips up again. We'll see. It's a roller coaster.
Thanks everyone for watching this week's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing some of our mistakes over the years. There's definitely a lot of them we got in the hopper. We could show more in the future. If you haven't already, give us a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. If you got any questions at all, just feel free to shoot them down in the chat below, and we'll see you guys here in the next episode.